What's going on, everyone? The Pelicans had one job, just handle business against the Phoenix Suns at home. And yet, Devin Booker gives a 50 piece, and the New Orleans Pelicans end up folding. But we have to just trust the process, right? Lakers need to keep handling business. Phoenix is going to lose some games. The Sacramento Kings are very likely to lose some games. It's just frustrating. It's like, come on, man. Like it feels like, man, like teams are selling on purpose. They're not, but the Pelicans have something to fight for. They're trying to hold on, and the Suns are even trying to move up in the standings. Right, the Pelicans, last thing they want is to drop into the play-in. But you watch games like this, and it's just like there's moments where you're just like, come, like it's like you're not even trying. But nonetheless, again, Lakers, big game tomorrow. Got to take on the Toronto Raptors. You have to beat Toronto, right? You got two road games coming up to close out this stretch. So far, you have one loss to the Indiana Pacers, which is a game that I had slated as a loss. I'm okay with it. Finish this road trip 5-1 on the 6-game stretch. That would be beautiful, especially for a team that going into that road trip was not very good on the road. You got the huge steal against the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Took the L against the Pacers. That's fine. But you got to close these last two out strong. I know it's the beginning of a back-to-back. You don't have Gabe Vincent. You don't have Cam Reddish. Neither of those guys should make that big of a significance, right? Gabe Vincent hasn't played pretty much all season. I do think he's going to make an impact eventually. Do think once he gets settled in, and I am okay with him taking the game off. He just got back. Don't want him to play back-to-back. I expect him in the Wizards game. Cam Reddish has kind of been the odd one, right? Because he's just kind of been in and out. One game he's playing, next game he's not. So to me, just rest him. Let him get his legs right. Let him get his body right, right? Like, it's not like he's a guy that has to play right now. But regardless, right? You're in Toronto. Follow that up with a trip to Washington against the Washington Wizards. You win those two games, you come home, 3-game stretch, two of which are going to be tough. That back-to-back between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Minnesota Timberwolves is not going to be an easy back-to-back by any stretch of the imagination. But that's why you have to win these two games, right? So that way, if you do drop one of those games against the Cavs or Minnesota, which would be understandable, and I've had them slated for that. I have them losing one of those two games. Can't lose both of them, but you could afford to lose one of them. You can't really afford to lose any games, but you get my point, right? Like, you're going to lose some games. Other teams are going to lose some games, right? If you finish this stretch, the 13 games, I said that they would go 10-3. If they finish it, say, 11-2, I'm cool with that, right? But I don't think that they could go worse than 10-3. So you got to win those games, and then you got that last 3 stretch against the Warriors, the Grizzlies, and the Pelicans. All 3 of those games you have to get, right? So to me, you lose one of the Cavs Timberwolves game, and you're good. Everything else, chalk it up. Let's keep it pushing, right? So a few things about this Toronto Raptors matchup. One, it's a completely different team. They don't have Dennis Schroeder. They don't have Pascal Siakam this go around like they did the previous time we played. Also, Scotty Barnes is out, Jakob Poeltl. But they are getting Emmanuel Quickly, and they are getting RJ Barrett back. Gary Trent appears like he's going to be out. So they're going to be missing several key pieces, but you cannot lay down, right? You cannot go into this game assuming like, oh, we're just going to walk all over. It's going to be cake. No big deal. We should dominate this matchup. They don't have Siakam this time. They don't have Scotty Barnes, who torched us last time. They don't have Dennis Schroeder. They're going to be missing their center. No, this is a game that, Anthony Davis should absolutely dominate. I don't even know who's going to be center for them tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how the injury report and everything plays out tomorrow. But my point is that it should be a dominant game for Anthony Davis. It should be a dominant game for the Lakers, period. It should be an inside-out game. Right? It should be a game where you're being aggressive, you're attacking the basket, applying rim pressure, right? They don't have the deterrence. They don't have the guys that they've had in previous times, right? With all that size and all that length, the Lakers have a really good matchup against them. But in the same breath, You're the Lakers coming in. Everybody always magically gets healthy. Everyone always wants to bring their A game. Everyone always wants to beat the Lakers, right? They want the attention. They want the noise. They want all the buzz. So LeBron even said it himself, right? Like, we can't look at these teams as just like, oh, well, they're terrible tanking teams. They're under 500 teams. No, they need to look at this as like every game is game 7 of the NBA Finals, and every game is dire and crucial, and we cannot take any team for advantage. These are all still NBA players. These are all still guys that can easily light it up, right? And if we keep winning, then again, I mentioned it earlier, you trust the process, right? You trust that one of Sacramento or Phoenix, one of those two teams is going to drop a couple games in which you can now overtake them, right? Problem is that, Sacramento, you have to win at least one more game than Sac. At least one more game. Where Phoenix, if you finish the same record, you're in good shape. Now, this is very likely going to go down to the wire. This is very likely going to go all the way down to the hair of our chinny chin chins. Right? This is going to go down to probably that Pelicans game to end the season. In a perfect world, it doesn't. Right? In a perfect world, Phoenix or Sacramento lose 4 straight or something, and the Lakers all of a sudden have like a 2-game lead going into that Pelicans game, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Let's rest, guys. We're good. We're happy with the 8th seed. Let's get it, right? Like that's perfect world. That's best case scenario. Realistically, it's probably not going to happen. The way it's going and how tough and competitive and brutal the Western Conference is. I mean, the Lakers are 9 games over 500. If they win tomorrow, they would be 10 games. If they win against the Wizards, they'd be 11 games. Again, I don't want to get too ahead, but to be 11 games over 500 and you still could end up being the 9th seed is crazy. It's crazy. 9 games over 500 and you could end up being the 9th seed. That or 11 games at that point over 500, you still end up being the 9th seed. Like that, it sucks, right? The Lakers didn't have that stretch, that 3-10 stretch, but since then, right? You look at the month of February, they go 9-3. Look at the month of March, they go 9-5. You're 18-8 over the last 2 months. That's huge. You got to keep that percentage basically. So you got 7 games left. Close these 7 games out. Finish, somewhere at like ideally 6-1. At worst 5-2, but I'd like 6-1. I think if you're 6-1, I think you'll at least be top 8. And then you're playing one of the Suns or the Kings, which you probably, I don't know. I mean, you can make an argument about who you want to play, but Sacramento is the team that we haven't been able to beat. Although I'd probably rather play Sacramento right now, given the circumstances. But we'll see. Time will tell. Got to get in first. Got to get there first. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? First off, are you upset that the that the Pelicans sold? Do you feel like, it's okay, Lakers will be fine. We'll get through it. Got to keep winning. What do you think about the matchup coming up? What do you think about this little back-to-back and closing out the road trip? Do your job. It's that simple. Do your job. Anthony Davis, this should be another dominant performance. This should be another dominant matchup. This should be a game in which he gives you 30. We need our shooters to show up. We need Austin Reeves and D'Lo. Be nice if Spencer Dinwiddie give us something. I was so disappointed in Spencer. I don't want to go on another rant here, but man, Spencer, I just felt like that was a real opportunity, real match. That was a game that I was really looking forward to seeing him play and seeing him kind of stand out. And I felt like he was just very timid that game. That was really disappointing, but we need all hands on deck. Can't be relying on LeBron James to drop 40 again to go beat this team, right? Still NBA players, but we have NBA players too, and our NBA players are better. So take advantage. Come with the energy. Come with the effort. I'm not saying they have to start the game 15-0, right? 15-0 run, but you gotta control and dominate this matchup. I'd like this game to be over by the 3rd, so you can get some rest going to go play the Wizards. That would be ideal. Toronto, that they're going to want to win. They're on like a 13-game losing streak. Handle business. But anyway, again, how you feel, what your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Let's enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.